Hi, my name is Barry Flinn. I'm the Director of the Institute for Sustainable and Renewable Resources at the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research in Danville, Virginia. My main role here is to help oversee and develop the plant biology programs so that we can use it for economic and community development in Southside Virginia. One thing we do is develop novel plants and plant products that could be grown or produced regionally, and hopefully some of what we're doing can be used or grown by local or regional farmers in, for example, their lands or in their greenhouse infrastructure that's currently available and being underutilized. We also can develop intellectual property and spin-off companies as a result of that technology that we're developing here. In addition, we hope to be able to attract other companies or investment here because of our expertise. And the last thing I want to mention is, really a lot of the kids in this area, we've really tried to target a lot of outreach and educational activities so that, people in the region can understand the science that's going on here and understand the impact that we can have on this region. And at the same time, really try and stimulate the kids in the area to really want to pursue higher education. And of course, in our case, we're interested in trying to get the kids to go into science and plant biology in particular. But I think overall, just trying to get the kids interested in science and what it can do in the future for them. The three main areas of our research program involves the development of high-value horticulture and forestry crops. The second area is the development of high-value compounds and technologies from plants. And the third area we've targeted is molecular breeding for biofuel and bioenergy production for this region. So if we just consider the first area, the development of high-value horticulture and forestry crops, we have a very, very strong relationship with the Virginia Nursery and Landscape Association, their Beautiful Gardens program, which is their plant introduction program. So what this means for us is we work very, very closely with leaders of the green industry in Virginia. So these guys have a pretty good idea as to what is going to have commercial potential and commercial relevance and what they think will sell. The second area we've targeted is developing high-value compounds and technologies from plants. So one of the areas we've targeted in this area is taking corn proteins that are currently being used by polymer producers to be able to make things such as edible food packaging. Now the problem with the current products the way they are is when they take these corn proteins, they have to add a lot of cross-linking compounds and other chemicals or compounds to make these films be able to form. But what happens is it makes the films very, very brittle, which means they tend to break relatively easily. What we've done is we've gone into the corn plant. We've actually taken out the gene from the chromosome or from the DNA of the corn plant. We pulled that out and isolated it, and we put that into bacteria, and we get the bacteria to actually produce these proteins. We can then purify these proteins, and we now have a very, very purified corn protein. It's nice because we then work with the Advanced and Applied Polymer Processing Institute, which is another research center located here. And we actually give them the protein, and what they're going to be doing is working on trying to develop that into a polymer so we can actually test the properties and see how well they respond. Are the films brittle? What are other traits or characteristics? What we can then do is go back to that specific piece of DNA or that gene for that protein, and we actually can go in and actually modify it or mutate it and change the amino acid structure or composition. So basically what we can do is we can modify the protein and its potential characteristics or traits. Now the last area we've targeted in our research program involves molecular breeding for biofuel and bioenergy production. And what we have here is several scientists who are working on a variety of different projects. One example or case in point is looking at Jerusalem artichoke as an alternative bioenergy crop that could be grown in this region. So in this case here, our scientists are screening a whole range of Jerusalem artichoke, which are plants that are native to North America, for ones that will grow well in this region. Now the artichokes are nice because during the vegetative season while they're growing, they produce a large amount of soluble sugars. These are sugars that can be extracted using water. And these sugars actually accumulate in the stems, and they accumulate a large amount of these soluble sugars. Now once these sugars are pulled out, they can be used for fermentation purposes to generate alcohols that can be used for alternative fuels. So in a lot of ways, the research areas we've targeted, we think will have very definite ways we can impact the economy of the region.